Listen closely. This is not a coincidence. You didn't stumble here by accident, and this isn't just another empty pep talk. No, this moment is a crossroads, and I'm here to tell you that the path ahead demands everything you've got. Look at yourself. Not the version you show the world, the real you. The one who hides behind the mask of composure while your soul whispers, "I'm tired." You're here because that whisper has grown louder, because deep down, you're craving something more. Come on, start with what you want. Start with what you need. Start with power, because deep down, you're craving something more. You want answers. You want change. And most of all, you want freedom from the pain, the doubt, the weight you've carried for too long. But let's not sugarcoat it. Life has knocked you down so hard you've questioned whether getting back up is even worth it. You've tasted defeat so bitter it clings to your tongue, and you've stared at the ceiling late at night wondering why it's always you. Why the heartache? Why the betrayal? Why the endless cycle of building yourself up, only for someone or something to tear it all apart? Here's the truth they don't want you to hear. It was never about breaking you. It was about shaping you. That pain you've been running from wasn't your demise. It was your rebirth. Those sleepless nights, those tears you've swallowed back, those scars you've hidden, they weren't signs of weakness. They were proof of your resilience. A quiet reminder that no matter how hard life tried, it couldn't destroy you. You've been so focused on surviving that you've forgotten what it means to thrive. But I'm here to tell you, this is the moment everything changes. Not because I have the answers, but because you already do. Inside you, there's a fire that's been smoldering, waiting for the right moment to ignite. This is that moment. The flames won't destroy you, they'll forge you. You feel it? That pulse in your chest, that spark in your gut. It's your strength stirring, your spirit waking up from the numbness. You've been asleep for too long, lulled into believing that you're nothing more than your pain. But hear me now. Pain isn't who you are. Pain is the proving ground. It's the forge where warriors are born. You are not the victim of your story, you are the hero. And heroes don't wait for rescue, they rise. They look at the broken pieces of their past and see the raw materials for something greater. They don't bury their scars, they wear them as badges of honor. So stop waiting for someone to save you. Stop waiting for the pain to magically disappear. It won't, but what if I told you that's not a bad thing? What if I told you the pain is your ally, not your enemy? The world has lied to you. It's told you to shrink, to stay quiet, to numb the hurt and move on. But shrinking won't save you, and silence won't heal you. No, healing comes when you face the fire head on, when you stop running from the flames and realize that they're not there to consume you, they're there to transform you. This isn't going to be easy. In fact, it'll be the hardest thing you've ever done. But look at the alternative. Do you want to stay here, stuck in this loop of surviving but never truly living? Or are you ready to step into the fire and let it burn away everything that no longer serves you? It's time to let Lucille go. It's time to abandon her of her own accord and to rise up. You're not here by accident. You're here because you're ready, even if you don't feel like it yet. You're ready to rise, to reclaim the power that's been buried under the weight of your past. You're ready to become the version of yourself that doesn't just endure the storm, but becomes it. This moment isn't just a chapter in your story, it's the turning point. The one where everything shifts, where you stop letting life happen to you and start taking control. Because no one's coming to save you. But here's the secret, they don't need to. Everything you need is already inside you. So, are you ready to wake up? Are you ready to see yourself not as broken, but as rebuilt? Not as a victim, but as a warrior? If you are, then listen closely. The journey ahead won't be smooth, but it will be worth it. Every step you take, every fear you face, every tear you shed, it's all leading you to the moment when you'll look back and realize that the pain didn't destroy you. The peace doesn't crumble. It built you. It made you stronger. It turned you into the force that no one saw coming. And now, it's your time. Time to rise. Time to reclaim what's always been yours. Time to rewrite your story. Not as someone who barely survived, but as someone who thrived against all odds. So let's begin. Because this moment, right here, is where everything changes. You've been carrying it for so long that it feels like a part of you now, doesn't it? That weight on your chest, that constant ache in your soul. It's become so familiar you've stopped questioning it. But let's be honest, You feel it. Every step you take feels heavier than the last, like you're dragging chains that no one else can see. You smile when you need to, laugh when you're supposed to, but inside, it's a different story. Don't worry, Felix, you're on the right track. The most important thing you have to do right now is good for you. But first, you need to feel what you're missing. There's a battlefield in there, one you've been fighting on for years, and no one knows how many times you've nearly waved the white flag. Let's talk about the silence, the kind that screams louder than any voice. The nights when the world is quiet, but your thoughts are deafening. The nights when you lie there, staring at the ceiling, asking questions that have no answers. Why did they leave? Why did they hurt you? Why does it feel like no matter how hard you try, you're always the one left picking up the pieces? You've been here before. In that space where the shadows seem darker, where every ounce of hope feels like it's slipping through your fingers. And let's not pretend it doesn't hurt. It hurts in ways you can't explain to anyone else, because how do you describe the feeling of being betrayed by people you trusted? How do you explain the weight of carrying dreams that never came true? How do you tell someone what it's like to feel invisible, even in a crowded room? They told you that you weren't enough, didn't they? Maybe not with words, but with actions. They turned their backs when you needed them most. They broke promises, shattered trust, and left you to piece together a version of yourself that could barely stand. They whispered doubts into your ear until their voices became your own. And somewhere along the way, you started believing them. And then there's the fear. That voice in your head that whispers, what if they're right? What if you're not enough? You've wrestled with it, haven't you? That crippling fear that no matter what you do, it'll never be enough to silence the doubts. You've tried to outrun it, but it's always there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the moments when you feel weakest. Now, but let's not just talk about the people, let's talk about you. Because it's not just them, is it? It's the way you look at yourself in the mirror and only see what's missing. It's the way you carry your scars like secrets, terrified that if anyone saw the real you, they'd turn away. You've built walls around yourself, thinking they'd keep you safe, but all they've done is keep you isolated. I know you've felt broken. I know you've looked at your life and thought, this is it. This is as far as I go. I know you've questioned whether there's anything left in you worth fighting for. And it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to feel like you're at the end of your rope. But let me tell you something. You're not alone. Being broken isn't wasted power. It's scarce and can be traded without judgment. And here's what you must do. Because here's the thing. Your pain, your struggles, your scars, they're not just yours. There are others out there who felt the same crushing weight, who've walked through the same fire. You're not broken beyond repair. You're not too far gone. You're not alone in this fight, even if it feels that way right now. You've been hiding your scars, haven't you? Covering them up, pretending they're not there, as if that makes them disappear. But those scars, those are your story. They're not something to be ashamed of. They're proof that you've survived. Every scar you carry is a testament to the battles you've fought, the storms you've weathered, the strength you didn't know you had, and the strength you didn't know you had. And let's talk about strength. Because I know you don't feel strong right now. I know you feel tired, drained, like you've given everything you have and there's nothing left. But let me remind you of something. Strength isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up over and over again, even when it feels impossible. You've been through hell and you're still standing. Maybe not as tall as you'd like, maybe not as steady as you want to be, but you're here, and that matters. That's everything. Because if you can survive everything you've been through, then there's nothing ahead of you that you can't handle. The world tried to shatter you, but here's the truth. It didn't work. You're still here, breathing, fighting, hoping. That means you're stronger than you think. That means you've got what it takes to not just survive, but to rise. So let me ask you, are you going to keep carrying this weight, or are you going to start letting it go? Are you going to keep hiding your scars, or are you going to wear them as proof of how far you've come? Are you going to keep believing the lies they told you, or are you going to rewrite the narrative? Because you're not the broken person they made you believe you were. You're the warrior they never saw coming. And this, right here, is the moment when you start to see it too. This is your story, and it's only just beginning. Let's talk about the darkness. Not the kind that comes with the setting sun, but the kind that lingers inside you. The kind that feels like it will never lift. You know it well, don't you? It's the heaviness in your chest, the lump in your throat that you can never quite swallow. It's the ache that doesn't go away no matter how many distractions you chase, no matter how many smiles you force. The spirit You've tried to outrun it, haven't you? You've filled your days with noise, hoping it would drown out the whispers in your head. But at night, when the world quiets down, it creeps back in. That silence, it's deafening. It screams the truths you don't want to face, echoes the questions you can't answer. Why does it hurt so much? Why does it feel like no matter how hard you try, it's never enough? No more truths, no more failures, no more regrets. Why is it so hard to live the life you want? Why does it feel like no matter how hard you try, it's never enough? You've felt the walls closing in, haven't you? That suffocating feeling that no matter where you turn, there's no way out. You've stood in a room full of people and still felt utterly alone. It's like screaming into the void, and the void doesn't care. You've wondered if anyone even notices, if anyone would care if you stopped trying altogether. And that thought, it terrifies you as much as it tempts you. 3, 2, 1, play. Fire, release, 0, 5, 2, 3, 2, 1, play. Let's be honest, it's exhausting. Carrying this weight, wearing this mask, pretending to be okay when you're anything but. It takes everything out of you. And some days it feels like it would be easier to just give up, to stop fighting, stop hoping, stop pretending that things could ever get better. But here's the thing, they lied to you. The pain you carry, the wounds you've tried to hide, the scars that make you flinch, they made you believe those things define you. They made you think that this darkness is all there is, that this is as far as you'll ever go. But they're wrong. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels hopeless right now. But let me tell you something about despair. It's a liar. It's a thief. It sneaks into your mind and tries to convince you that this is the end, that your best days are behind you, that you've got nothing left to give. But despair doesn't tell the whole story. It doesn't tell you about the light waiting on the other side. It doesn't tell you about the strength that's forged in the fire. You've looked at your life and wondered if this is all there is. You've asked yourself if the dreams you once had are worth holding on to. And every time you've thought about giving up, despair has been there, whispering in your ear, telling you to let go. It shows you the easiest path, the one where you stop trying, stop reaching, stop believing. But let me ask you this, is that the life you want? Because giving up comes with its own cost, a cost far greater than the pain you're feeling now. If you give up, you lose more than just your dreams. You lose the chance to see how far you can go, to find out what you're truly capable of. You lose the chance to rise above everything that tried to break you. And that loss, it's not just yours, it's the world's. Do you see it? The wasted potential, the unfulfilled dreams, the version of you that you could become, but never will if you let despair win. The world doesn't need another person who gave up. It needs you, the real you, the you that fights, that rises, that refuses to let the darkness win. But let's not rush past the truth. It's okay to feel lost. It's okay to feel broken. It's okay to sit in the darkness for a moment and let the tears come. You don't have to pretend to be strong right now. You don't have to have all the answers. Let the weight of it all settle in your bones for a moment, because here's the secret. The darkness isn't permanent. You're a part of this destruction, as a matter of fact. The music of capitalism versus humanity, and the music of tearing each other apart reminds us who's piling the final bill, and to whose party it's safe, no one gets hurt. Every dawn begins in the shadows. The night always feels endless until the first light breaks through. And you, right now, in this moment, you are standing at the edge of something greater. It doesn't feel like it, I know. It feels like the darkness will swallow you whole. But I promise you, the dawn is coming. You can't see it yet, but it's there, waiting for you to take the first step, waiting for you to stop looking at the walls and start looking for the cracks where the light gets in, waiting for you to realize that this moment, this low, hopeless, gut-wrenching moment, isn't the end. It's the beginning. Because here's the truth, the pain doesn't last forever. The despair doesn't win unless you let it. And you, yes you, are stronger than you think. You've already survived the worst days of your life, haven't you? You've already fought battles you thought you couldn't win. So why stop now? The darkness isn't here to destroy you. It's here to teach you, to show you the strength you didn't know you had, the resilience you didn't think was possible. It's here to remind you in the blackest night, there is a spark inside you that refuses to go out. So let me ask you again, are you going to let despair have the final word, or are you going to stand up, even if your legs are shaking? Are you going to take one step, no matter how small, toward the life you deserve? Because this moment, it's not the end of your story. It's the turning point. The moment when you stop letting the darkness define you and start using it to fuel your fire. Yes, it's dark now, But the dawn is coming, and when it does, you'll see that the walls weren't closing in, they were falling away, revealing the warrior you were always meant to be. So breathe, feel the weight of this moment, but don't let it break you. Let it build you. Let it prepare you for the light that's waiting just beyond the horizon. Let's talk about fire, the fire they tried to use against you. They thought it would consume you, reduce you to ashes, and for a while it felt like it might. The heat was unbearable, the flames relentless, and you could feel yourself breaking under the weight of it. But what they didn't realize, what you didn't realize, is that fire doesn't just destroy, it transforms. The word for destroy is betrayal. It removes a piece of yourself, then replaces with something else, like wells and wheels. You see, the fire they lit wasn't your ending, it was your beginning. Those flames, they weren't meant to burn you alive. They were meant to burn away the lies, the doubt, the fear. They were meant to reveal what's been inside you all along. Resilience, strength, power. This is your moment to rise, not in spite of the fire, but because of it. Look at the scars it left behind, not as marks of weakness, but as proof of survival. Each scar tells a story, doesn't it? A story of a battle fought and won, of a storm weathered, of a fire that tried to consume you and failed. Those scars, they're not something to hide. They're your armor now. A crown. Because here's the truth. Pain doesn't make you weak. It doesn't diminish you. Pain is the crucible where strength is born. It's the forge that tempers your spirit, that sharpens your edges, that hardens you into something unbreakable. Without pain, there is no growth. Without struggle, there is no transformation. And without failure is no transformation. And thankfully for you, there's actually both. You've been through the fire, and now it's time to use it. It's time to let that pain fuel you, to turn every tear, every wound, every heartache into the raw material for something extraordinary. Think of it like ashes. They're not the end of the story. They're the fertile ground where new life begins. But here's the thing. Transformation isn't passive. It doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. You have to make the choice. You have to pick up the pieces. Take the pen and rewrite the story. No one else can do it for you. The world may have tried to define you, to box you in, to tell you who you are. But the truth is, the narrative has always been yours. The pen is in your hands now. What will you write? Will you write a story of defeat, of giving up, of letting the fire win? Or will you write a story of resilience, of rising from the ashes, of becoming stronger than anyone ever imagined? Because you have that power. Yes, you. The same person who felt like giving up, who thought the pain would never end, who doubted whether they were strong enough. You are the one who holds the pen. And every word you write, every decision you make, is a step toward reclaiming your power. This is where the mindset shift begins. Look at the pain, not as something to fear, but as something to embrace. Pain isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. It's the force that pushes you to grow, that forces you to confront the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. It's not here to break you, it's here to build you. Think about the strongest people you know. Do you think they've never faced pain? No, they've faced it and come out the other side stronger. They didn't avoid the fire, they walked through it. And so can you. In fact, you already have. Every time you thought you couldn't go on and did. Every time you felt like falling apart and held yourself together, every time you doubted yourself but kept moving forward, you were proving your strength. You were building resilience. You were becoming the person who can face anything. So now it's time to own that. It's time to stop looking at your past as a weight and start seeing it as a gift. Yes, a gift. Because everything you've been through has prepared you for this moment. It's given you the tools, the perspective, the grit to rise higher than ever before. Think of yourself like a tree in a storm. The wind has battered you, the rain has soaked you, and the lightning has struck more times than you can count. But what happens to a tree in a storm? Its roots grow deeper, its trunk grows stronger, and when the storm passes, it stands taller than ever before. So that the storm comes a-passing, it stands taller than ever before. That's you. Your roots are deeper now. Your foundation is stronger. And even though the storm isn't over yet, you're still standing. That's your power. That's your resilience. So take a moment. Feel the strength in your bones, the fire in your soul, the beat of your heart that refuses to quit. That's who you are. Not the doubts, not the fear, not the lies they told you. You are the person who rises. You are the person who turns pain into power, scars into armor, and ashes into something beautiful. And this is your moment. The world may have underestimated you, but they won't make that mistake again, because now you know the truth. You know that every battle, every wound, every tear has only made you stronger. You know that the fire wasn't your end, it was your beginning. The question is, what will you do with it? Will you let the flames die down and walk away? Or will you fan them into something unstoppable? Will you use the pain as an excuse to stay stuck? Or will you let it fuel your rise? Because here's the thing about warriors. They're not born, they're built. They're built in the fire, in the struggle, in the moments when it would have been easier to give up, but they didn't. And you, my friend, you are a warrior. You always have been. So stand up, look in the mirror and see yourself for who you truly are. Not broken, not defeated, but transformed. The fire didn't destroy you, it built you. And now it's time to take that strength, that power, that resilience, and use it to create the life you deserve. I hope you all see something clear in what he said. The pen is in your hands. Write your story. Write your legacy. Write the truth that they never wanted you to know. You are unstoppable. You are unbreakable. You are a warrior. And this is just the beginning. Do you feel it now? That pulse in your chest, that fire stirring in your gut, it's been there all along, waiting for this moment, for you to finally see yourself for who you really are. The world tried to destroy you, to bury you under doubt and despair, but they didn't succeed. No. All they did was awaken something they never saw coming. A warrior. Look at your life. Look at everything you've been through. Every loss, every betrayal, every setback, it wasn't the end of you. It was the beginning. They thought those battles would break you, but they didn't realize they were building you. Do you see it now? The strength in your scars, the resilience in your soul, the unshakable power that's been forged in the fires of your struggle. You've spent so long looking at your pain as a weakness, but it's not. It's your origin story. Every great warrior has one. The pain you've carried, the wounds you've endured, they're not chains holding you back. They're the foundation of your strength. They're the proof that you've fought battles others couldn't even imagine, and won. Let's revisit those battles for a moment. Think about the times you thought you wouldn't make it, the nights when the tears wouldn't stop, the days when you carried a smile just to keep others from seeing the cracks. Think about the moments when the weight felt unbearable, when giving up felt like the only option. And yet, here you are. You didn't give up. You didn't quit. Do you realize how extraordinary that is? Do you realize how extraordinary that is? Do you realize how extraordinary that is? Most people don't even try. Most people crumble under pressure, fold at the first sign of resistance. But not you. You've been through hell and back, and you're still here, still breathing, still standing. And that means one thing. You are unstoppable. Think about it. What can the world throw at you now that you haven't already faced? What obstacle could possibly stand in your way after everything you've endured? The same battles that were meant to break you have become the armor that protects you. The wounds you once hid are now the stories that inspire others. You are living proof that no matter how hard life tries, it can never truly destroy someone who refuses to give up. Let no loyalty. So let me ask you, do you feel it in your bones now? Do you see it in your reflection? That's strength. That's power. That's you. The version of you that exists today is someone you couldn't have imagined back then, in those darkest moments. Back then you couldn't see the light, couldn't see the path forward, but now you can. You've stepped out of the shadows and you're standing in the glow of your own resilience. This is the turning point, the moment where you stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances and start claiming the role you were always meant to play, the hero of your own story. Because that's what you are, a hero, a warrior, someone who didn't just survive but thrived, who didn't just endure but rose above. Take a moment to imagine your future self, the one you're becoming. Picture them clearly. They're strong, unbreakable, and unstoppable. Their shoulders no longer sag under the weight of the past. They stand tall, radiating confidence and purpose. Their scars aren't hidden. They're displayed proudly, like medals of honor, each one a testament to the battles they've fought and won. Ironic, isn't it, that the things that we do are themselves one of the most priceless commodities they own. That future self, it's not some distant dream. It's you. It's who you're becoming with every step forward. with every decision to rise above the pain and keep moving. The power you need is already inside you. It always has been. You've spent enough time doubting yourself, enough time believing the lies the world told you. It's time to rewrite those lies into truths. The truth that you are not broken, the truth that you are not defeated, the truth that you are a force to be reckoned with, someone who can face any challenge and come out stronger, okay? And now the question isn't whether you're strong enough, it's what you'll do with that strength. Will you let it push you forward, guide you toward the life you've always deserved? Will you use it to inspire others, to show them what's possible when you refuse to give up? Will you let it shape you into the person you've always been destined to become? Or will you let it shape you into the person you've always been destined to become? Because here's the thing about warriors, they don't wait for permission. They don't wait for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances. They take what they've been given, every challenge, every setback, every ounce of pain, and they use it to build something extraordinary. Some of the strongest people I've ever met have been warriors, and they build something extraordinary. That's who you are now. Not a victim, not a survivor, a warrior. And warriors don't crumble under pressure, they rise above it. Warriors don't let the fire consume them, they walk through it and emerge stronger on the other side. So rise into the person you were always meant to be. Rise into your strength, your power, your purpose. The world tried to destroy you, but they failed. All they did was build a warrior. And now, it's your time. Your time to claim your place. Your time to rewrite your story. Your time to show the world that no matter how hard it tried, it couldn't break you. It could only make you stronger. This is your turning point, the moment when you step into your power, into your truth, into your destiny. So go ahead, rise, because the battles that tried to break you were never your ending, they were your beginning. The question now is simple. What will you do with this fire inside you? It's there, burning brighter than ever before. You've felt it growing, igniting something deep within that refuses to be ignored. This is your moment. This is your chance to take everything you've been through, all the pain, the struggles, the scars, and use it to build something extraordinary. And you decide to use it to build something extraordinary. But here's the thing about transformation. It doesn't happen on its own. It requires action, intention, and commitment. It's not enough to feel the fire. You have to channel it, to let it drive you towards something greater. So let's talk about what that looks like. Let's map out your path forward, step by step, so you can embrace the warrior you've become and create the life you deserve. And that's step 1. Reflect on your journey. Take a moment to look back, not with regret, but with clarity. Everything you've been through has shaped you, taught you, strengthened you. Those struggles, they weren't just obstacles, they were opportunities to grow. So ask yourself, what have you learned from your pain? How have your struggles revealed your strength? What parts of you have been forged in the fire? And this isn't about dwelling on the past, it's about understanding it. When you reflect on your journey, you'll see that nothing was wasted. Every tear, every heartbreak, every setback, it all served a purpose. And that purpose was to prepare you for this moment. What do you think? Why? Step 2, redefine your pain. It's time to stop seeing pain as something to fear and start seeing it as fuel. Pain isn't weakness, it's power. It's the force that pushes you to grow, that sharpens your edges, that makes you stronger than you ever thought possible. Reframe your struggles as opportunities. Those scars you carry, they're not signs of defeat, they're badges of honor. They're proof that you faced the fire and emerged stronger. Wear them proudly. Let them remind you of the battles you've won and the resilience you built. Whenever you face a new challenge, remember this: the fire that once burned you now fuels you. The struggles that once seemed insurmountable are now the foundation of your strength. Step 3, build resilience. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about thriving in spite of it. It's about knowing that no matter what comes your way, you have the strength to face it and rise above it. So how do you build resilience? Embrace the challenges. Don't run from difficulty. Run toward it. Each challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, to prove to yourself what you're capable of. Surround yourself with strength. Find people who lift you up, who remind you of your power, who inspire you to keep going. Let their strength fuel your own. Celebrate every victory. No matter how small, every step forward is a win. Celebrate it. Let it remind you of the progress you're making and the power you hold. Step 4, rewrite your story. This is the biggest You've spent too much time letting others define your narrative. That ends now. The pen is in your hands, and it's time to write a new chapter. A chapter where you're not the victim, not the bystander, but the hero. So ask yourself, what do you want your story to be? Who do you want to become? What legacy do you want to leave behind? Write it down, say it out loud, make it real, and then start living it, one step at a time. Step 5, take action. Transformation isn't just about mindset, it's about movement. It's about taking the fire inside you and using it to light your path forward. So, what will you do? Will you chase the dreams you've been too afraid to pursue? Will you face the fears that have been holding you back? Will you step into the person you were always meant to be? Whatever it is, start today. Start now, because every moment you wait is a moment wasted, a moment you could be using to create the life you deserve. This is your time. The world tried to destroy you, but it didn't succeed. All it did was build a warrior. And now, it's your turn to show the world what that warrior can do. You are not defined by your past. You are not defined by your pain. You are defined by the strength you've found within yourself, by the resilience you've built, by the fire that refuses to go out. When you look in the mirror, don't see the person who is broken. See the person who rebuilt themselves, stronger than ever. See the person who refused to give up, who turned pain into power, who rose from the ashes like a phoenix. This is your moment. This is your time. The world may have tried to break you, but it only succeeded in revealing your strength. So rise into the person you were always meant to be. Rise into your power, your purpose, your destiny. The fire inside you is unstoppable. The warrior you've become is unbreakable, and the story you're writing is just beginning. This is your time to rise. The world tried to destroy you, but all it did was build a warrior. Now go out there and show them who you are. They thought they broke you. They thought the fire would consume you, that the weight of the world would press you into nothingness. They didn't know who they were dealing with. They didn't see the ember in your soul, the flicker that refused to die. They didn't realize that the same fire they meant to destroy you would be the very thing that awakened your strength. The phoenix doesn't fear the fire. It welcomes it. It knows the flames are not the end, but the beginning. It knows that ashes are not a grave. They are a cradle, a place where something new is born. And you are the phoenix rising. They pursue you, but your resistance will not prove, and you defeat them. Look at yourself now. Not the you they tried to define, not the you they tried to break, but the true you. The you that stands tall, unshaken, unyielding. The you who has walked through the flames and emerged, not as a shadow of who you were, but as a brighter, fiercer, stronger version of yourself. Your scars tell a story of survival, of resilience, of a strength that cannot be silenced. Each one is a testament to the battles you've fought, the storms you've weathered, the mountains you've climbed. Wear them proudly, for they are the proof that you are unstoppable. This is the truth they didn't want you to know. You are not the product of your pain. You are the architect of your future. The pain, the struggle, the fire, they were never meant to define you. They were meant to shape you, to forge you into the warrior you've become. And during my time with the last sergeant, there was a conversation between him and me, between the two of us. So what will you do now? Will you carry this fire within you, letting it light your way, letting it fuel the dreams that have been waiting in the shadows? Will you step into your strength, your power, your truth, and show the world what you are made of? Because this moment, it's not an ending, it's a beginning. Your story doesn't stop here, it's just getting started. The chapters ahead are yours to write, and they will be filled with triumph, with growth, with a power that no one can take away from you. The world tried to bury you, but they forgot one thing. You are a seed. And now it's your time to grow, to stretch toward the sky, to reach for everything you've ever dreamed of, to claim the life you've always deserved. You are not broken. You are not defeated. You are rising, step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment. And with every step, you are proving to yourself and to the world that you are unbreakable. You are situated in time. You are totally fine. This is your time to rise, your time to shine, your time to become everything you were always meant to be. The fire didn't destroy you, it built you. The struggles didn't end you, they awakened you. The pain wasn't your finish line, it was your starting point. So go, step into your power, embrace your scars, use your fire, and show the world what happens when a warrior rises. This isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of a legacy. The world tried to destroy you, but all they did was build a warrior. And now, it's your time to conquer. Transformation is not a one-time event. It's a process, a journey that unfolds with every step forward. Now that you've awakened your strength and embraced your power, the question becomes, how do you sustain it? How do you ensure that the fire inside you continues to burn, guiding you toward growth and progress? This section is about equipping you with the tools and strategies to maintain resilience, harness your pain as a source of power, and redefine your narrative in a way that aligns with your highest potential. 1. Maintaining resilience. Resilience isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about navigating them with strength and grace. Here are practical ways to build and maintain your resilience. Remind yourself that healing is not linear. There will be ups and downs, and that's okay. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend who's struggling. Use affirmations to reinforce your inner strength. For example, I am stronger than my challenges. I am capable of growth and progress. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who remind you of your power, and who celebrate your progress. Distance yourself from negativity, whether it's people, habits, or environments that drain your energy. And that just is. Set achievable goals and celebrate every step forward, no matter how small. Progress is progress, and each win builds momentum for the next. Your pain is not something to suppress or avoid. It's a powerful tool for transformation. Here's how you can use it to propel yourself forward. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask, what could I learn from this? View your struggles as stepping stones toward growth, not as obstacles that define you. Turn your pain into creativity. Write, paint, sing, or create something that expresses your journey and reminds you of your resilience. Use physical movement, whether it's exercise, yoga, or simply walking in nature, as a way to release negative energy and stay connected to your body. Share your story to inspire others who might be struggling. Your scars are not just your own. They can be a source of hope for someone else. Take time to explore your journey and articulate the new story you want to live. Use these prompts to guide your reflection. Looking back, what challenges have shaped you the most? What lessons have you learned from your struggles? How have you grown because of what you've been through? Looking forward, what kind of person do you want to become? What values and principles will guide your decisions moving forward? What dreams have you been too afraid to chase, and how can you start pursuing them now, in the present? What strengths do you see in yourself today? How can you use those strengths to create a life aligned with your true self? What steps can you take right now to embrace your power and start living your new narrative? Find out today on /Dinner Service, or call Jennifer Mackinnon directly at 504-241-9120. Develop daily habits. Start your day with affirmations or journaling to set a positive tone. End your day with gratitude, reflecting on what went well and what you've achieved. Commit to lifelong learning. Read books, listen to podcasts, or take courses that inspire and empower you. Seek out mentors or role models who embody the qualities you want to cultivate in yourself. Embrace setbacks as opportunities. And when challenges arise, remind yourself that setbacks are not failures, they're part of the process. Use setbacks as an opportunity to reassess, learn, and grow stronger. Living as a warrior. Living as a warrior means embracing every aspect of your journey, the highs and the lows, the triumphs and the struggles. It means knowing that your strength isn't just something you summon in the face of adversity. It's something you carry with you every day. Ask yourself, how will I honor my journey moving forward? What legacy do I want to leave behind? How will I continue to rise, not just for myself, but for those who look to me for inspiration? Your story doesn't end here, it begins now. You've faced the fire and emerged stronger. You've embraced your scars and discovered your power. Now it's time to live as the warrior you were always meant to be. Take each step forward with intention. Use your pain as fuel, your resilience as armor, and your strength as a guiding light. And when the world tries to knock you down again, and it will, remember this. You've been through worse, and you've come out stronger. Nothing can break you now. The warrior in you has awakened, and the journey ahead is yours to claim. Rise boldly, live fiercely, and let your legacy be one of strength, transformation, and unstoppable power.